Did you like it, senor?
It was great.
Thank you.
This is Miguel.
Do you like the history?
It was great history.
Perfect.
And you were from?
From here. I am originally from Chichen Itza town.
Wow.
Yeah. So I am a Mayan descendant. I speak the Mayan language. Definitely better than Spanish, better than English, because my mother language is the Mayan language. I learned Mayan language at home, and then I learned Spanish at the school.
That's awesome.
Chucho!
Yeah, you gave a great tour. Thanks for all the
Thank
history.
you very much. Thank you very much, senor. I really appreciate it. I highly appreciate it, because always is a pleasure for us, like local people, Mayan descendants, to show this part of our culture, an ancient culture. Okay, 5,000 years of history. Well, it's a very interesting place. Thank you very much to visit us. Hope you enjoy it. Hope to see you soon with more people.
Yes.
Don't forget to recommend this place. Don't forget to recommend local tour guides all around the world. Thank you very much, senor.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Thanks.
What's your name?
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
My name's Jonathan. This is me.
Okay.
This is me. Please subscribe. Give this video a like.
Follow.
It is
Jonathan.
a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Keep enjoying.
Welcome to Chichen Itza. It's June and rainy season has started, so it's a little hard to hear the tour guide with the rain hitting the umbrella. So I'm going to give you a few interesting things about Chichen Itza first, and then I'm going to show you our tour. We had two amazing tour guides. One explained things on our tour bus, and then Miguel grew up here in the town of Chichen Itza, and he speaks Mayan. He's the one you just saw with me. He just did an amazing job. The first point, number one, Chichen Itza is the most famous of all the Mayan ruins. You can see the remains of 20 structures here, making this one of the new 7 wonders of the world. It's about a 2.5-hour bus ride west of Cancun. Chichen Itza is the name of the town. It was approximately 4 square miles with between 35,000 people and 50,000 people residents here at its peak. The Great Temple Pyramid, the thing that's famous for being here, is called El Castillo. That's the name of the pyramid. That means the castle. Chichen Itza takes its name from a geological feature here, sinkholes with fresh water. They are called cenotes or cenotes. These were their sources of fresh water here. What is a cenote? That's when the limestone surface, the ground, it collapses and it exposes the water underneath and it forms a giant sinkhole. So our tour stopped at one of these where you can swim, and you're going to see that later on this video. So the name Chichen, the CHI, the beginning, first half of the word, chi, means mouths. And then Chen means wells. Itza is the name of the Maya tribe who settled here. So Chichen Itza means at the mouth of the well of the Itza. And so that is that's what the name Chichen Itza means. Number 2, the huge pyramid is called El Castillo. It's built for the feathered serpent, Kulkulcan. Kulkulcan is the snake god, and that's the god of rain and wind, who this temple pyramid is named for. Number 3, El Castillo is a 3D model of the famous Mayan calendar. It's amazing here. Using their knowledge, the Mayans' knowledge of astronomy and mathematics, this ancient Maya settlement, they developed one of the most accurate calendar systems in human history. Each of the 4 sides of the pyramid here has 91 steps. And if you add those 4 sides up with one more final step at the top of the temple platform, they total 365. That is the number of days of their year, and also ours. The serpent, Kulkulcan, is featured prominently here throughout Chichen Itza. It's a deity directly associated with the planet Venus. The Maya believed that Venus was the sun's companion, and here at Chichen Itza, the temple of Venus lies directly across from the temple of Kulkulcan. During the spring equinox, which is March 21st, and the fall equinox, which is September 21st, something wonderful happens here. On these two dates, the light of the sun hits the earth directly at the equator. And when that happens, shadows cast by the setting sun give the appearance of Kulkulcan, this feathered snake, that it is slithering down the huge steps from the top of the pyramid to the bottom. Thousands of visitors still come here every year to watch. The angles of the sides and the steps are slightly larger than 90 degrees, allowing for sound to be amplified. This is one of the things we learned here during our tour. So you're going to hear a lot of tour guides, you're going to see them in the distance clapping their hands. That clapping sound, there's all the different tour guides trying to show their little groups how easy it is to hear. This allowed for someone speaking up on the pyramid to be heard easier down below to all the thousands of people gathered around the base. Number 4, most of the written history of the Mayans was destroyed by the Spanish when they arrived to explore and conquer this land. In other Mayan temples were lots of writings and pictographs showing the history of the Mayans. And they were written on paper, the paper of tree bark. The Spanish who were coming here believed that this was a language and culture not honoring God. And so evil in nature that the Spanish burned most of the Mayan written history that they could find. There are only 4 major documents that somehow have survived, giving us really very little amount of history as to what is known today about this Mayan empire. And that's one of the fascinating things. There's just so much that is just not known. Number 5, human sacrifices. Did they sacrifice humans here? Yes, they did sacrifice. They sacrificed to their sun god during solar eclipses. A common practice was to remove the victim's heart for those. One of the local cenotes was dredged early in the 20th century, finding the remains of hundreds of bodies sacrificed to the rain god. Now, when you come here, and you're going to see in a moment, you're going to tour the ball court here. And what's fascinating is this ball court was the largest in the Mayan civilization throughout the Yukatan, measuring at 225 feet wide, and this one is 545 feet long. Considering a football field is 300 feet long, plus the end zones, the ball field here at Chichen Itza still remains the largest ball field in all of North America. You're going to see in the tour a stone ring on each side of the field. There are no bleachers at these games. The games were private, only for the royalty to watch. But the winner, usually the team captain of the winning team, the winner would be taken over in front of the entire crowd gathered at the base of the pyramid, waiting to watch the winner be sacrificed. The winner was sacrificed. This was done by decapitation on a large platform, which is here, still here, by cutting off his head for all to see. It was a time of great celebration and also to recruit for more volunteers to enter the ball games. The Yucatan Maya believed in reincarnation, and this is why. They believed in reincarnation and that all souls are reborn as infants in an ongoing cycle. The greatest honor one could give was to win the ball games, and then by being sacrificed, he would be reborn into a better life as a huge reward for his victory. There is a skull wall, which you're also going to see on site here, documenting many of those who were sacrificed. It's amazing that that wall has remained after so many centuries. The Mayan civilization lasted over 1,500 years until the cities became abandoned likely due to exhausted soils. They think that might have been a reason. They also think severe drought causing the cenotes to dry up probably led to starvation. In the southern part of the Yukatan and going down to Guatemala, suggesting that sickness, probably due to starvation caused by severe droughts, and it made civilizations abandon their cities and then move on, trying to find other sources of fresh water. If you are coming here from Cancun, then your bus might also stop at a cenote, one of these huge water holes, and you might also stop for a few minutes at the famous the church in Valladolid. The church is San Servacio Church. It was built in 1545. You cannot go in the church, but your bus might stop there, and you get a few minutes to take some pictures. You're going to see us film that also at the very end. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I hope you enjoy this. I wish it was not raining. That's why I did a voiceover to help you hear. The rain coming down on the umbrellas is a little bit loud, but you know, we did the best we could. Rainy season is starts here in June, and it runs for part of the summer, you know, going into hurricane season. It's funny, it's been so dry here for the dry season for months. The people here in this part of the Yucatan are so excited to see all this rain. They need a lot of rain, so good for them, not great for tourism. But thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, and now I'm going to show you clips from our tour. We're at Chichen Itza. It's raining pretty hard. It's just how it is today. So thanks for joining us. Please subscribe. We're going to give you a tour of everything here with a tour guide. They sell those. There's vendors everywhere walking in. Hey, those are cool. They got some different magnets there. And even with the pouring rain, it's still packed here. And they have those jaguar noises.
Welcome to Chichen Itza. Now we can say officially, welcome to Chichen Itza, right? Well, get closer. Before to start with the information, just turn around, and there you can see the temple of Kulkulcan again. Actually, I always recommend to my groups, if you want to take a very nice picture to the main families. Now we are in the ball field of Chichen Itza, okay? Something very important about this place, this is considered the largest ball field in the Mayan world, okay? Remember, there are many Mayan cities, there are different places in the world with Mayan cities. So Mayan civilization used to be huge. So there are about 4,000 Mayan cities in the Mayan world. Remember, this is the largest one, this is the biggest one, because from that wall to the other wall, there are 668 meters. But this one, amigos, is different because it's the only one with two vertical walls. Can you see the walls? One to the right, one to the left. But can you see the ring? Can you see the hoop in the wall? We have one to the left, we have another one to the right, okay? Well, in this case, this is the place where the Mayan people practice the famous ball game. Have you heard about the ball game? Have you seen the movie El Dorado? The cartoon, El Dorado? Do you remember how the Mayan people play the ball game? Well, according with the archaeologists, the Mayan people, when they used to play the ball game in this place, they just hit the ball with elbows, hips, knees. This is very important because remember, according with the information, do you remember the information on the bus? Mayan people used to be short people, okay? And that's the detail because that ring is located about 7 meters high. So now try to imagine Mayan people running on top of the platform, trying to score to 7 meters high, hitting the ball with elbows, hips, and knees. Something very hard to do. That's why we consider just the best of the best ball player was able to score. Make sense? Well, in this case, families, in Chichen Itza, we had two different teams. One team to the right, one team to the left. 7 players to the right, 7 players to the left. 6 in the ground, 1 on the platform. Means the guy that is running, trying to score on the platform is the captain. Okay? But this is interesting because when the first captain, maybe to the right, maybe to the left, when the first captain score, means the game is over. Oh, this part of the ritual is over. And then we continue with the second part of the ritual, which consists in sacrifice, decapitation. The question for you is, what do you think? They sacrifice winners or losers? Winners, losers? Losers. Okay. Well, consider this. For the Mayan people, the religion was something very important, okay? And remember, just the best of the best was able to score. That means just the best of the best had the honor to be with the gods because it's a sacrifice. Most of the time they sacrifice volunteers, but in this case, just one of them had the honor to be with the gods. Who? The winner or the loser? The winner. The winner. That's why archaeologists consider the Mayan people in Chichen Itza, they sacrifice winners. Okay? Because they had a concept of reincarnation, something like that. So, according with the Mayan mythology, the Mayan religion, there is a cycle of life. This life, next life, and again this life. Okay? Well, now we're gonna get close to the walls. We're gonna see the carvings, and then we're gonna have a better idea about that because we're gonna see the carvings where there is a person kneeling down but no head. What do you think when you see a person kneeling down like this? Honor? Because when we see this guy like this, he's offering his life. Means that it's an honor for him to offer his life to the Mayan gods. Okay? Well, sometimes tourists ask, is this place a stadium? Can you see places to sit in this ball field? No. Actually, we just have the temple over there, the temple on top, the temple right here, and the chamber on the other side. Well, means was an exclusive event for the high class, so no public in the ball game. What do you guess? Where the public were waiting for the winners? Outside, because probably the decapitation, the sacrifice was on public, amigos. This part of the game, private, but sacrifice, public. Okay? And I'm gonna explain you later where they sacrifice the winner. Okay? Do you wanna see the carvings? Follow me. They're wearing headdresses, jewelry in the nose, sandals. Some of them are wearing sandals, shoes. Okay? Here we can see the ball players. Okay, look at this. This one is wearing a jaguar mask. Can you see it? Means power, means he is a natural. This side we can see a ball player, a ruler, a shaman, a priest standing. But look at that. He's holding an obsidian knife right here. Right here. Look at this. In the other hand, what is that? What is that?
The head of someone else.
He's holding a human head right here.
Yes.
Right here. Okay?
Preparing to...
He's ready. Then in the other side, we can see another person, another ball player right here. But look at this. This one is kneeling down. The knees. This is the neck. Can you see the head? No. Why? Because the head is over there. Well, from the neck you can see the blood, but look at this, how they represent the blood with snakes. That's why snake means fertility, because in one of the snakes we can see a plant that is growing up with these flowers, 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 crops, crops, crops. That means this guy offered his life for the fertility of the land. That's why I told you, here we can see this guy kneeling. That means it was an honor for him to offer his life for the fertility of the land. Okay? Now we are going outside to explain you, to show you where they decapitate the winner. Okay? Guys, families, look at this. What you can see here in the wall? Skulls. Many carvings of human skulls. This is the platform of the skulls, by the way, okay? Well, here on top is where the sacrifice used to be. They practice the human sacrifice right here on top. Well, public here on the plaza, about 40,000 people waiting for one person, the winner. Well, the question for you is, why the rulers of Chichen Itza made the human sacrifice for the public and the ball game private? Why the sacrifice is public? Because here, when we see a winner, when we see a champion, when we see the best of the best, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 people on the public, they just say, I want to be like him. And then we have new volunteers and we continue with the sacrifices. Make sense? So this is the perfect way to continue with this tradition. Okay? Well, here on top is where they cut the head of the winner. 40,000 people here watching the show. Okay. And jaguars and eagles. Can you see the jaguar on the middle? Can you see the eagle in the corner? Okay, this is very, very important in the history of Chichen Itza, because remember, in Mexico, the country, before the Spaniards arrived, there were more than 68 different cultures. Okay, remember, our national language now is Spanish, but before Spaniards, 68 different languages. Well, here we can see the alliance between two different cultures in Mexico. Of course, Mayans and Toltecs, like Aztecs, like Olmecs. Here we can see the representation of the Toltecs with the eagle, because here in this part of Mexico, we don't have eagles. We have many jaguars, but no eagles. Actually, the Mayan people, when they carved this, they just want to show us this alliance. Why? We can see a jaguar, we can see an eagle. They both facing each other. Actually, they holding something in their hands. No, it's a human heart. Can you see? Well, also the jaguar, from the mouth of the jaguar, we can see something like breathing. It's not the tongue. It's the same with the eagle. That's the meaning of that, amigos, is the speaking symbol. That means eagles and jaguar, they talking each other too. They trading knowledge about medicine, astronomy, calendars, mathematics, and different topics. Because we know that they made an alliance, because the jaguar is eating the heart of the eagle and the eagle is eating the heart of the jaguar. And that's what they made to absorb the power, the knowledge of other person. Make sense? Maybe nowadays no, but back in those days definitely makes sense. Well, this used to be something like a theater, because it's in the middle of the town. This one, amigos, this one, on top of this platform, there used to be Mayan people performing dances or playing instruments in important events like probably equinoxes or solstice, okay? Well, this is the north facade of the main temple, amigos. Again, we are facing the main temple in Chichen Itza, the new seven wonder. but the main facade is this one, north facade. What's the difference between this one and this one? This is the only one with the snake heads in the bottom. That one, amigos, that one is Kulkulcan. The Kulkulcan god, feather serpent god. Well, here we have the north staircase. Do you remember the picture of the equinox? Did you see the picture of the equinox? The 7 triangles of light? Okay, let me show you this. Where the door is located, that wall where the door is located is where every March 21st, September 22nd, we can see these 7 triangles of light that represent the whole body of the Kulkulcan god, because we can see one by one from the top to the bottom, one by one the 7 triangles of light right there. The question is how this happened. Remember, this temple is facing north, okay, but has a deviation of 22 degrees. That means this temple is perfectly aligned with the true north. See? So that means, amigos, when the Mayan people built this temple, they knew about the true north. Okay? Well, March 21st, September 22nd, sunset, the sun is that way. Okay? Well, the sunlight illuminates this facade of the temple. Then the sunlight passes through this corner, and then the sunlight reflects the 7 triangles of light over there. That means this temple is also perfectly aligned with the motion of the sun, because we can see this phenomenon twice a year. Is that okay? Well, what do we have in March 21st? Spring season, spring equinox, but for the farmers, it's time to prepare the land. It's time to choose the best seeds, okay? Because 91 days after the spring equinox, we have the summer solstice, rainy season, like this. So everything had to be ready. Well, that's why we consider this temple also like a agricultural calendar. Because second equinox, September, Kulkulcan comes down again from the heaven. But now the message of Kulkulcan is not to plant, it's to harvest, okay? And 91 days later, we have the second solstice. When? December, winter solstice. As you can see, amigos, the Mayan people divided the year in 4 important astronomical events. Because in March we have equal day, equal night. June we have the longest day. Then September we have equal day, equal night. And December we have the longest night. Okay? Well, this city is located very close to the equator. That means in Yukatan state, we just have 2 different seasons, hot and super hot. But even with this, amigos, Mayan people were able to divide the year in 4 seasons. Okay? Well, as you can see, Mayan people were great astronomers. Nowadays, the Mayan people are considered by the archeologists as the greatest sky watchers in the time. Okay? Because they calculate everything 5,000 years ago with no technology. About the calendar, let me show you this. We have 4 sides. Each side there is a staircase. In each staircase, there are 91 steps. So if we have 91 in this one, 91 in the other one, 91, 91, if we multiply 91 times 4, is 364 plus the temple on top, 365, right? How many days we have in a year? 365. Well, if we split that facade, this facade, in 2, we can see to the right, we can count to the right 9 platforms. This way we can count 9 platforms. Do you remember how many months we have in the Mayan calendar? 19. Perfect. So 9 plus 9, 18. Times 20, 60. The last month is over there on top, right there, on top of the roof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back in those days, there used to be 5 decorations like that. That one represents the last month of the year. So we got 18 times 20, 360 plus 5, 365. Okay? something that is amazing for me is the cycle of 52 years that we have in the Mayan calendar, because that's what many people many years ago confused with the end of the world. That was just the end of a Mayan cycle, and it's a cycle of 52 years. Then we have 52 weeks in the huge, about 24 square kilometers. There is more to see, but believe me, one day, 2 days is not enough to see everything. Yep. Well, we are just in front of the steps, and this works only in front of the steps. Because if we clap in the corner, we just hear the echo pretty loud, but if we clap here, we can hear the acoustic effect. Okay, let me try. Let me see if I can try. Warriors over there. Isn't that temple where Mel Gibson probably saw that scene of the human sacrifice in Apocalypto?
Yeah.
Did you see the movie?
Yeah.
Apocalypto? Well, inside, amigos, there are two beautiful murals. In the first one, we can see Mayan people traveling in canoes. We can see people fishing. But the idea is to show you another city. Because here, amigos, no surface water, okay? No surface. The water is 22 meters down, okay? But over there we can see another city. Probably they were talking about Tulum. Have you been in Tulum? Someone? Tulum? No? Well, there you have a very nice view of the Caribbean Sea. Well, Tulum used to be the most important commercial port back in those days. So for the rulers, it was important to control that place, because when they control the commerce, they control everything. Okay? Then in the second mural, we can see a person that is lying down in a stone table. Okay? Then we can see a warrior holding his legs, another warrior holding his hands, but we can see a priest in front with an obsidian knife. Surprise? He's gonna use the obsidian knife to cut the chest of this person. He's gonna use his hands to take out the heart of this person. He's gonna show the heart to the gods. And right there in the middle of the two columns, there is a chacmol. That statue like this. That's the chacmol. He leaves the heart on the plate of the chacmol. Okay? Like in the movie. But why the chacmol is right there, amigos? This is because this temple, again, is perfectly aligned with the motion of the sun. Because in March 21st, summer solstice, the sunrise, you can see how the sun is rising up just behind of the temple. But 5:40 a.m., we can see the sun right there, amigos. Right there, in the plate of the chacmol. Okay? So, as you can see, Mayan people were very, very good astronomers or sky watchers. The question is, how do you follow the motion of the sun? No Oakley, no Ray-Ban back in those days. They used the obsidian stone. Obsidian. Because it's like a glass and you can see it through the obsidian stone. Okay?
So this is the huge ball area where they played ball. They used a rubber ball made from a rubber tree. What's interesting, we just learned from our guide, these games were private. And each team was small. And the winner, the great honor of winning the game, is you get decapitated at the end. They sacrifice you at the end because you won. With the beliefs that they had back then, you would be reincarnated. And that is the great reward from winning the game. You can see there are no grandstands, but this is the largest ball field in North America. Stretches from that all the way down to here. For some periods of time, this was the largest ball field in the world. It's massive in size, but again, there are no bleachers. There are no spectators. People would watch from up there, the very elite, the royalty. And then the decapitation was public, and I'm going to go show you where that was done right over there. We are in Mexico at Chichen Itza. It's pouring rain, but I am standing in the middle of the largest ball field still in North America. For thousands of years, this was the largest ball field in the world. It is massive in size. There are no bleachers, no stands. The games here were private, and they were to throw a ball, a rubber ball made from rubber trees. There's one goal there, and the other goal is over there. And the winner got decapitated. That was the great honor of winning the games. And then they would do the decapitation over there in front of the Great Pyramid, El Castillo. The whole area is Chichen Itza, but that is the named in honor of the snake, feathered snake god. Look at all the pictures of heads. The winner of the ball games was decapitated on top of this wall. It was a very big deal. The games were private, but they would invite in the 50,000 people who lived here to watch. It was a great honor. Truly the greatest honor is to win in the ball arena, and then they cut your head off publicly for everyone to see. It served different purposes. The winner of the games then would be reincarnated. That was a lot of the beliefs here at that time. And it was done in front of a crowd, and it was such a great honor and such a big deal. Looking at the lawn here where they would do this and bring the huge crowd, it would inspire many more people who would want to compete in the arena in the ball games. And so that was done here. So I'm sure there was lots of sacrificing, human sacrificing, done here at Chichen Itza. Then up on this platform is where they would do a lot of shows. Entertainment was done on the top of this platform. There's the Great Pyramid, and this is named for a feathered snake god. There is so much astrological marvelous ways that they've built this. Is truly the greatness of the Mayan civilization in how this is designed. There are 365 steps. It is set up for the great Mayan calendar. In December of 2012,
Wait, what is?
that's when the calendar finally wound down. Based on 52-year segments, there are 52 of those giant rectangles. It's fascinating. It lines up with the equinoxes. It lines up to show Venus, and then at the bottom, I don't know if you can see, at the very bottom of those steps is the giant serpent, a feathered serpent. It's pouring rain here, by the way, but at the bottom of that is the feather serpent, and that is what this is named for, the great feathered snake god. Thanks for joining me. Please subscribe, give this video a like. This is the end of this tour of Chichen Itza. This is the Great Pyramid in the middle. A couple of the awesome things about it. It is the most magnificent thing that the Mayan civilization created. The archaeological findings are astounding. For example, those steps do not come up or down at a 90-degree angle. They are slightly off, or about 110 degrees, to amplify sound, so that they could speak from the top and the crowd at the bottom could hear. So you're going to see people over here clapping, trying to make noises to hear the echo. Did an interview with Miguel. He was our tour guide. He is Mayan, and he grew up here in the town of Chichen Itza. He's our tour guide. What an honor to have him. One piece of advice in you wanting to come to Chichen Itza, get on a tour. Don't just come here by yourself and walk around, because otherwise it's just huge piles of stones everywhere. You need to get a tour guide to hear the history as to what went on with the sacrificing, with the construction of Chichen Itza, the symbolism. The feathered snake god, and you can see the carvings of it right there. Thousands of people still come here every year as the sun lines up for the equinox, and it gives the illusion, which is pretty cool, as the sun rises, which it's not going to do today in the pouring rain, of the snake slithering down, the feathered snake. And to this day, people come here and hang out for hours waiting for that moment. One of the reasons that there's just not as much history known about the Mayans is because when the Spanish came to what is now Mexico to begin conquering it, they came across a lot of documents. You know, the Mayans did document things. They used paper, which is tree bark. But when the Spanish came here, they felt like this was an evil culture. They were worshiping the devil, and so they destroyed and burned almost all the documents that were here at the time throughout the world of the Mayan civilization back then. And so there are only 4 documents that have survived, and that's where a lot of the history has come from. We've made it to the cenote.
Oh my gosh, it goes really deep.
It is really deep. All right, let's head over where we start hiking down into it. So you got this little creek, just comes along. What you don't realize is it's about to drop off very, very deep. All right, we're heading down. It's a little bit slick. Yeah, you don't want to slip on this. We're walking down a waterfall. Isn't this beautiful?
Yeah, that looks like a cave back in there. These vines.
And roots are so long. Look at those.
They go from top to bottom. Yeah, and into the water.
People are heading down to swim. This church is amazing. It is so old. Gonna do just a quick walk around. This is part of our trip over to Chichen Itza. So on the way back, we stopped by this church. We just left a cenote, and so it's the best way to see the Mayan Pyramid. You get to go to a lot of other places too on the way. Look at the detail and the preservation of this building. You can see on the screen the year that this church was built. So much detail